Our first competition of the night is JCB Racing. All 12 trucks have been seeded into the bracket based on their first race pass time from our last event last night, with the fastest 4 trucks having received an automatic advancement into round 2. Coming up first, 8 trucks will race head-to-head, with the 4 winners advancing on into round 2. St. Louis, are you ready for JCB Racing? We're going to kick things off here in our first head-to-head matchup. In the blue lane, Lizzie Reed, Lucas Stabilizer. And her opponent in the gray lane, please welcome Jamie Garner, El Toro Loco. Well, the winner of this matchup will head on to round 2 to see Tyler Menega and Gravedigger El Toro Loco, currently 1-0 against Lucas Stabilizer as our staging lights are lit at the far end of each race lane. Time to go racing! And it will be Lucas Stabilizer and Lizzie Reed advancing on into round 2. We can take a look at that replay in the meantime before we get the official time from our Finish Links timing system. Lizzie Reed and Lucas Stabilizer clocks in a time of 28.275. That Finish Links timing system is accurate to 1/10,000th of a second, and that is what we use here to clock in those official times. It's also been used in the Olympics, the Kentucky Derby, and the Indianapolis 500. So we want to make sure all these races are accurate and fair here as we get set to meet our second head-to-head matchup. In the blue lane, it's Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. And in the gray lane, it's Mike Pagliarulo, Kraken. So Great Clips Mohawk Warrior Bryce Kenny 1-0 in head-to-head matchups against Mike Pagliarulo and Kraken. The winner will see Tristan England and JCB Digatron in round 2 of JCB Racing. Now remember, those outside yellow lights means that our drivers need to head to our starting line. When you see 2 yellow lights, it means they are staged and ready to go as we await for the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Time to go green! Even with a little bit of issue there at the starting line, we're awaiting the official review there from our Monster Jam officials up in the booth. And it sounds like I'm getting the word up from our booth officials that we are going to rerun this race. We're taking a look at that replay right now, but I'm getting word they're going to rerun this race. That is the official word from our Monster Jam officials up in our booth upstairs. You could tell there at the beginning a little issue there with the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior and Bryce Kenny when it came down to that starting line. You can see his crew chief, Matt Del Santer, right there giving him word to get back into the race. We're going to rerun the race here according to our Monster Jam officials up in the booth. I'm also getting word that there was a light malfunction, and that is why we're going to be rerunning this race. So Kraken will get another attempt here at the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, but a very fast and fluid race pass there from the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior and Bryce Kenny. So those staging lights now lit once again as we await the approach of both of our competitors here, our second head-to-head matchup in round 1 of JCB Racing. Crack into the line. Now we are going to go green. And the story will continue on for Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. So those times will be officially locked in. And he clocks in a time of 27.896. We're going to get set to see our third head-to-head matchup here in just a moment. In the blue lane, it's Tom Meads and Max D. And his opponent in the gray lane, it's Cole Bernard, Black Pearl. So you can see right now we've got our JCB equipment out there. They're going to have to take back Mike Pagliarulo and Kraken. But I did get word just now from KCG out in the back. She said she talked to Matt Del Santer, crew chief for Bryce Kenny, the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, and he's a little worried about that transmission. So that's something that you fans might want to keep an eye on throughout our rounds here at JCB Racing, especially with the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. You can see where we stand right now in this competition, where we are right now as we get ready for round two, but we've got one last head-to-head matchup here, or excuse me, two more head-to-head matchups here before we fill out that round two bracket. In round two, though, we're going to see Grave Digger going up against Lucas Stabilizer, JCB Digatron going up against the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. We're awaiting to see who Bad Company will see in round two, and of course, our last head-to-head matchup will be Megalodon going up against Jester. The winner of that will see Ryan Disharoon and Shaker in round two of JCB Racing. So a lot of action still headed your way here for JCB Racing round one. And we're going to get set here for this third head-to-head matchup. Both of our competitors here on the track awaiting those staging lights, and both of our drivers inching to that starting line. Advancing on will be Black Pearl. The racing issues continue on with Max D and Tom Meads as we take a look at that super glue glued to the action replay as we await that official time. And he crosses the finish line with a time of 26.824. That will be the official fastest time of the night so far as we get set to see our last head-to-head matchup in round one here of JCB Racing. In the blue lane, please welcome Todd LeDuc, Megalodon. And in the gray lane, his opponent, please welcome Matt Pagliarulo, Jester. Well, this is a first-time meeting for these two here in the 2024 season, but they're no stranger to the head-to-head matchups here throughout their years. We await the approach of Jester as we get set to go racing. And your winner is Megalodon. And Megalodon will advance on to see Ryan Disharoon and Shaker. We're going to wait that official time, too, as we get set to see where the Finish Link's timing system puts Megalodon here in this competition. A little glued to the action replay there, brought to you by the original Super Glue. Our round 2 bracket has officially been locked in here. Gravedigger, Lucas Stabilizer, JCB Digatron, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Bad Company, Black Pearl, and Shaker and Megalodon. And that's where you'll see us in round 2 of JCB Racing.
This is round 2. The 4 winners of the last round have advanced to this round, and they're going to compete against the 4 drivers who had that automatic buy-in, but only 4 can make it to the semifinals round. Who's ready for more JCB Racing?
Well, advancing on into round 2 in the blue lane, Lindsay Reed and Lucas Stabilizer. And her opponent in the gray lane, please welcome Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger. Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger currently 1-0 against Lucas Stabilizer here, coming into this head-to-head matchup. Winner will advance on to semifinal round. We are going to have to go to that photo finish brought to you by the Finish Links timing system. Looks like there's some issues potentially there with Gravedigger and Tyler Menninga. Your winner is Lucas Stabilizer. Lucas Stabilizer coming in with a 28.886, and that will put her into the semifinal round. So we've got a little bit of a change of pace. We're going to see Lucas Stabilizer now in the semifinal round, and we are about to see who Lindsay Reed will be taking on in that head-to-head matchup here in just a moment. The official racing bracket is being played out right now in front of your eyes here on this track as we get set to see our next head-to-head matchup. In the blue lane, advancing on into round 2, Bryce Kenny in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. And his opponent in the gray lane is Tristan England, JCB Digatron. So the JCB Digatron currently 1-0 in head-to-heads against the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior here in the 2024 season. And we will see who Lindsay Reed and Lucas Stabilizer will be taking on here in the semifinal round in just a moment. We're awaiting the approach to the starting line of both of our drivers. Both are set and ready to go. Tristan England and JCB Digatron. Awaiting that official time to see who will have lane choice in that semifinal round. And you can see a little hike up there for the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, a very tacky track here in St. Louis. A lot of our drivers have definitely talked a little bit about these race lanes as well. And you can see JCB Digatron clocks in a time of 27.052. He will have lane choice in the semifinal round. And in the blue lane, please welcome John Gordon and Bad Company. And in the gray lane, advancing on into round 2, Cole Menard, Black Pearl. They're going to get ready to see who will advance on here to the semifinal round. And Black Pearl currently 1-0 against Bad Company. It will be up to the photo finish and the replay from our Monster Jam officials up in the booth. We're going to check it out right now. Your winner is John Gordon and Bad Company. All right, a 27.006 there from John Gordon and Bad Company. Official times are locked in. Our last head-to-head matchup, they will have to beat, whoever the winner is, will have to beat a time of 27.006 for lane choice. And advancing on here into round 2 in the blue lane, we've got Todd LeDuc and Megalodon. And in the gray lane, his opponent, please welcome Ryan Disharoon, Shaker. Shaker is 2-0 in head-to-head meetings here in 2024 season against Megalodon. And will he be able to continue that streak against Megalodon? We're going to find out here in just a moment. The winner will see Bad Company and John Gordon. We're going to see who will advance on. Go to the photo finish again from our Monster Jam officials up in the booth and the Finish Links timing system. But a wild end there for Ryan Disharoon and Shaker, kind of clipping that front BKT tire. Nonetheless, I'm getting word your winner will be advancing on Todd LeDuc and Megalodon. Official time up on the video board, a 26.899, which means he will have lane choice coming into that semifinal round.
As we advance further into the bracket, I want to talk about a couple different components to Monster Jam Racing. Racing is not just about being fast. It's also about being precise. It's also about being concise. So a couple things to watch for. This particular track design is all about the turns. Once the driver finishes their lap on the inside of the berm, they have one final lap on the outside of the track. And once they hit the final jump, it's imperative that they hit that jump with both front tires. If they don't, then they'll receive a 5-second penalty. Also, if you look around the edge of the track, you'll see that white line. That's also a boundary line, so they have to stay within that. Otherwise, once again, they will receive a penalty. So as you can see, it's not just about being fast, it's also about being very accurate and precise when it comes to racing. And with a track like this, with so many turns, that can be really challenging to navigate. One thing's for certain, one driver is going to take home the 12 points for the racing competition win. It's been a wild ride so far, and we have a lot more action coming your way.
Casey, thank you so much there for that update and all the insight there as we see where we stand right now into the semifinal round competition. And of course, a big shout out to JCB, our official equipment provider there, out there making sure we can get Shaker back into the pits to get fixed here. So we see right now Lucas Stabilizer, JCB Digatron, Bad Company, and Megalodon will all see each other there in the semifinal round. Now let's keep in mind, JCB Digatron, he clocked in a time of 27.052. That means he will have lane choice because Lindsey Reed and Lucas Stabilizer clocked in a time of 28.886. On the other side of things, though, Bad Company clocked in a time of 27.006, and Megalodon crossed the finish line with a time of 26.899, which means Megalodon will have lane choice. A lot of these drivers saying that they're going to be choosing that gray lane because that seems to be the faster lane and also easier to maneuver on some of those turns. As you can see, our JCB equipment there trying to tidy up this track to make sure that it is ready to go here for the semifinal round of action. Like Casey said, 12 points are on the line, and a lot of these drivers want that first 12 points to really set the tone and the pace here for the rest of the night.
This is the semifinal round, St. Louis. 4 drivers have advanced to this round, but only 2 can make it to the finals. Ooh, it's going to be a close one. Now, who's ready for more JCB racing?
We have 4 drivers ready and set to do battle to see who will advance on to the JCB racing competition. Well, we're about to see our first head-to-head matchup here in the semifinal round. In the blue lane, it is Lindsey Reed and Lucas Stabilizer. And in the gray lane, it is Tristan England and JCB Digatron. And he had lane choice, so he did opt for that gray lane. We're going to await those staging lights, and they are lit now at the far end of each of our race lanes. Here we're going to see who will advance on into our JCB Racing Finals. Both of our drivers to the line. Let's go racing! It's a battle of Texas, and the winner moving on, Tristan England, JCB Digatron. JCB Digatron advances on with a time of 27.590. And our last semifinal head-to-head matchup coming up here in just a moment. Keep in mind that this next head-to-head matchup, they want to beat that time of 27.590. And in the blue lane, we've got Todd LeDuc and Megalodon going up against, in the gray lane, John Gordon and Bad Company. Now, keep in mind, Megalodon had lane choice. A lot of the drivers pushing out to that gray lane for lane choice, but he opts out for that blue lane. Will this make a difference? Will this be the deciding factor that will move him on into our JCB Racing final round? It is another wild finish in the gray lane, and your winner advancing on, John Gordon and Bad Company. That gray lane at that finish, definitely giving some problems there on the landing. You can see he kind of barrels over onto those front 2 BKT tires across the finish line, but he will clock in a time of 27.209. That will mean that if Bad Company and John Gordon can get back into this competition after being looked at by our USHRA safety officials in that black and yellow fire suit, he will have lane choice in the final round.
What a race for Bad Company's John Gordon. If you look on over here, you'll see that he rolled and he landed on all 4 tires. But right now we have our tech officials coming out to check over the truck to make sure that everything is safe. It's ready to go for the racing final. We'll hear the final word here in just a few moments and find out if he will be able to make it back for the racing final and competes for the first 12 points of today's Monster Jam. It's going to be exciting to see who's going to take home the racing victory. I know that you've seen a lot of trucks head to the back after the racing competition. I'll give you an update from the back as well. But here we go. We've got Bad Company's crew and technicians headed out here to check over the truck as well, waiting for the official call. We'll get back to you in just a few moments and find out if John Gordon and Bad Company will make it to the racing final.
I am getting words from our Monster Jam officials up in the booth that Bad Company and John Gordon look good. He'll be ready to race here in our JCB Racing Finals.
St. Louis, this is the final round. The fastest 2 drivers have advanced to this round, but only one can earn the first 12 points of today, of this evening. So, I'm going to ask you again, who's ready to meet your final contenders?
In the blue lane from Hiram, Georgia, this is John Gordon, Bad Company. And in the gray lane, he's your 2023 World Finals Racing Champion from Paris, Texas, Tristan England, JCB Digatron. John Gordon, Bad Company has lane choice. He chose the blue lane. Will that be good enough to get the racing victory here this afternoon? JCB Digatron, of course, understanding that that race lane, very slick. We have a winner. It is Tristan England, JCB Digatron. Tristan England, JCB Digatron. His first racing win here of the season, here the 2024 season. He clocks in a time of 27.367. Collects his first 12 points of this afternoon. St. Louis, let's hear it for Tristan England, JCB Digatron. Let's hear it one more time, St. Louis, for your racing winner.
Tristan, a huge congratulations. This victory must be so sweet, not only for you as our reigning Monster Jam World Finals Racing World Champion, but also as the first racing victory in the brand new JCB Digatron.
It means a lot. I thought we were going to get it out first weekend. This truck and I, we're still learning each other, and I've got one of the best technicians in the business, Howie Dalton. He's been here for years. and this is just the start. What do you think, St. Louis? Are we heating it up in here?
They've got a lot more action coming their way, including the skills challenge. Now, in this competition, you get 2 attempts to wow these fans, but you have a reputation for making those 2 attempts a whole lot of combo moves. Is that the secret to success out here?
Man, there's not necessarily a secret. We're just having fun, flying by the seat of our pants, and you guys, it's about to get hot. You got to grab onto that seat. But don't be fooled by some of these tricks, okay? There's 12 amazing trucks and 12 awesome athletes out here, and we're gonna lay it down, but I'm coming out here last, and I will wow you, I promise, but you gotta get loud, let me hear you!
Huge congratulations there to Tristan England and JCB Digatron winning JCB Racing as we see our BKT overall event leaderboard. We've got Tristan England on 12 points, followed by John Gordon and Bad Company with 11 points. We got Todd LeDuc, Megalodon currently sitting in third with 10 points. Lucas Stabilizer with 9 points. 8 points belongs to Black Pearl and 7 points belong to Shaker. And that's how we round out our top 6 here on Stadium Championship East. We're going to kick things off here in this competition, starting off with Jamie Garner, El Toro Loco.
Give it up for El Toro Loco. All right, St. Louis, you got 20 seconds to lock in those scores. Judgeszone.com, that code STL.
And Jamie Garner, El Toro Loco there with a little bit of a reverse popper. Showing off the smoke there. Lost a horn in the middle of that action, though. And then uses the big ski jump to land the popper. And then a little bit of a moonwalk there in the back. Scores are locked in. Let's see where you put El Toro Loco. All right, you gave him at 5.519. We are about to meet our second competitor here of the Great Clips Skills Challenge. And don't forget here that you, the fans, are in charge of crowning our winner. You're in charge of getting those scores in as well. So you can scan that QR code as well, and it'll take you right to Judgeszone.com. You can start at any time. And remember, all you have to do is lock in that code one time as long as you don't log off that web browser. So keep in mind those combination moves. They're a little bit harder when you see a popper or stoppie. I mean, that's a pretty hard move and technical move as well. So keep that in mind. Also, if you see that Monster Jam donut, they only have one attempt at that donut as well. So we're going to get set to see our second driver up, and it's Mike Pagliarulo, Kraken. Let's make some noise for Mike Pagliarulo and Kraken. Scoring is officially open here. Mike Pagliarulo and Kraken filling in for his brother Nick. These last couple of weeks, his brother just had a little baby girl, so he is now Uncle Mike Pagliarulo. So get those scores locked in. 2 bicycle attempts there from Mike Pagliarulo and Kraken. A couple seconds left there at judgeszone.com. Will those attempts be enough to take the lead away? Remember, El Toro Loco, 5.519. And your score is a 4.378.
In the back in the pits with driver Bryce Kenny, driver of Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Bryce, during the racing competition, I was standing next to your crew chief, Matt Del Santer, and he was losing his mind. He said that you lost first gear throughout the racing bracket. Talk to us about that.
Well, we lost first gear immediately. So on that first round race, as soon as I stepped on it, when the lights went green, there was nothing. So you just kind of quickly shift to second. You try to make something out of it. And then I went to go park after I thought I actually won. They said we had to rerun it. And so there's a little bit of chaos. But thankfully, we just said, you know what, let's see what we can do in second round. I had JCB Digatron. Tristan England is so fast, I had to push it against him, and I hiked up. So I rolled the dice. It didn't pan out this time, but we had to say, let's come back here. Let's put a fresh transmission in it and get back out there for skills so the truck will be 100%. And that's exactly what's going on. It should be buttoned up here in just a minute.
A lot of our fans, they understand what a transmission is. Maybe they know that they have it on their car or their truck at home. Maybe it takes, a day, sometimes longer, to be able to swap that out on their own personal vehicle. Let's talk about how fast they do it here.
Yeah, if you take your car to the shop, plan on leaving it there for a few days by the time they can get around to it. And for us, we can usually have these swapped out within, 20, 25 minutes if everything goes as planned. And we've just got the best technicians in the world right here at Monster Jam that can, do this in 20, 25 minutes, get us back out for the next competition. It's truly incredible.
Well, Bryce, thank you so much. Hats off to your crew. And folks, they're working to make sure that Great Clips Mohawk Warrior makes it to the track for skills.
Well, you see where we stand right now in the Great Clips Skills Challenge. El Toro Loco currently still holding the lead. 5.519. Kraken right behind him there with a 4.378 as we get ready to continue on here in our Great Clips Skills Challenge. Lots more action here coming up here in just a moment as we get set to see our third competitor to hit the track here. Another 12 points are on the line here for our Monster Jam drivers and Monster Jam trucks in the Great Clips Skills Challenge. We're getting ready to meet Tom Mintz and Max D.
St. Louis, let's hear it for Tom Mintz, Max D. You have 20 seconds to lock in those scores. Judgeszone.com.
We've got the maximum moonwalk, and then we had a little bit of a popper moonwalk combination there from the 14-time World Finals champion. And Tom Mintz and Maxie await your fan scores now at Judgeszone.com. The score to beat 5.519 from El Toro Loco. Your score for Maxie is 9.364. You now put him in the top spot. Our fourth competitor is coming to the track, Matt Pagliarulo, Jester.
Make some noise for Matt Pagliarulo, Jester. You got 20 seconds to lock in those scores. Judgeszone.com.
Slap wheelie action there from Matt Pagliarulo and Jester there on the first attempt. And of course, make sure you use that super glue. Glue to the action replay though. Getting those scores locked in. It's a great reminder of what we see there as we take a look at that wheelie attempt. Few seconds left there at Judgeszone.com, and we're going to go straight to the scores, 3.908. Our next competitor up, Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger.
Give it up for Tyler Meninga, Gravedigger. You got 20 seconds to lock in those scores. Judgeszone.com.
What a run for Tyler Meninga in Gravedigger. Those bicycle tricks tend to be big risk, but also big reward out here on the track. We're going to find out if it's enough to take the lead. Look at how the truck articulates here. Such control, keeping that 12,000-pound beast on 2 tires. Those scores are locked. We're going to see if it's Gravedigger that can take the lead here in the Skills Challenge. Keep your eye on that video board. We're going to find out what the score will be for Tyler Meninga and Gravedigger. And there it is! He is your new leader, a 9.676. That is going to be a tough score to beat. That is a high score here in the Skills Challenge. Your new leader here is Gravedigger. Coming up next, let's hear it for Cole Bernard, Black Pearl. Giving Cole Bernard and the Black Pearl a chance to refire. Will he be able to complete his second attempt here in the Skills Challenge? And there he is.
Give it up for Cole Bernard, Black Pearl. You got 20 seconds to lock in those scores. St. Louis, Judgeszone.com.
Cole Bernard and the Black Pearl, a little reverse there as we take a look at that super glue glued to the action replay. And of course, the replay, very important there for you, our fans, as you're going to lock in scores at Judgeszone.com. We've got some wheelie action there, a little bit from Black Pearl and Cole Bernard. Will it be enough to take the lead away, though, from Tyler Meninga and Gravedigger? That will be completely up to you to decide. Scores are in. Let's see where you put them. 5.795. Still in lead is Gravedigger. Next driver up, it's Lindsey Reed and Lucas Stabilizer. Make sure you get those trucker horns going for Lindsey Reed and the Lucas Stabilizer. Monster Jam fans, just to keep this in mind, that plastic that is in front of you, whether it's gray, whether it's black, is there for your protection. We have to stop the event if you breach the plastic. So please do not go over the gray plastic. We will have to stop the event. We've got a green light now here for Lucas Stabilizer and Lindsay Reed. She is our 7th competitor, and she must beat a score of 9.676. That is the score to beat right now from Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger.
Give it up for Lucas Stabilizer. You guys got 20 seconds to lock in those scores. Judgeszone.com.
And Lindsay Reed and Lucas Stabilizer opt out for that Monster Jam donut. We haven't seen that attempt here in quite some time for our competitors. So giving us a little bit of a different flavor here on the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Getting dizzy out there on the track. Hopefully he counted some of those revolutions as scores are locked in. 6.296. That is the score that you gave Lindsay Reed and Lucas Stabilizer. Up next, it's Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. And that will do it for Bryce Kenny, the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. You can hear that it sounds like the power, the engine shut off in the middle of that nose wheelie. You completely went silent there, lost power, and now we just need those scores to get locked in. We do need that score. It was one attempt there for Bryce Kenny, the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. We'll have to definitely get an update on what happened there from KCG in a little bit, but scores are about to be locked in there. Big shout out to JCB, our official equipment provider. Let's see those scores. And it is a 4.612. So we're gonna look here right now, the Great Clip Skills Challenge leaderboard, where we've got 2 competitors with scores in the 9s. Gravedigger currently holding the lead right now, 9.676. And we've got Tom Mentz and Max C with a 9.364. Right behind them both is Lindsay Reed and Lucas Stabilizer with a 6.296, followed by Black Pearl, El Toro Loco, and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. It will be Todd LeDuc, Megalodon.
Give it up for Todd LeDuc, Megalodon. You got 20 seconds to lock in those scores. Judgeszone.com.
Bicycle upon bicycle there for Todd LeDuc and Megalodon. He loves to ride those two BKT tires up on the side there and get a little side action on the bicycle attempt and into the stoppie right there. A little slick though. Remember, our drivers are telling us a little bit about that slickness of this track. A lot of the moisture is still holding into that soil. So the scores are locked in. Let's see where you put him at. You gave him a 7.515. In the lead still, though, is Gravedigger with a 9.676. Our 10th competitor up is John Gordon and Bad Company.
St. Louis, make some noise for Bad Company. Okay, you got 20 seconds to lock in those scores at judgeszone.com.
Popper nose wheelie on that first attempt, and then Bad Company's John Gordon gives us a bicycle as well. Two great attempts there from John Gordon and Bad Company, so now we need to see those scores. Let's see where you put John Gordon and Bad Company in this competition. Scores are locked. You gave him a 7.044, good enough to put him in the 4th spot. And I'm getting word that we are not going to be seeing Ryan Disharoon and Shaker, so this will be our last competitor, Tristan England, JCB Tigatron.
Make some noise for Tristan England, JCB Tigatron. You got 20 seconds to lock in those scores. Judgeszone.com.
I have a feeling this is going to be a very close race for the win here in our second competition. It's going to be up to you to decide. Will Tristan England and JCB Digatron continue on as the winner and make it perfect here in the first half? A lot of combination moves there from JCB Digatron and Tristan England. Scores are in. Your score to beat, Gravedigger 9.676. Your score for JCB Digatron is 9.050, which means you're winner of the Skills Challenge, Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger.
Tyler, congratulations on another Skills Challenge victory. I know that when it came to racing, that did not go how you wanted. They took your truck to the back. They swapped out a rear axle. It must make this victory that much more sweet.
Yeah, you know what? I was really looking forward to racing out here, but you know what? That's just how it goes. When you drive Gravedigger like a $200 car out on this track on a Saturday night, it might still be broken on Sunday. But you know what? Are you guys having fun at Monster Jam so far this afternoon?
Right now in the back in the pits, your crew, your technicians, they're working on swapping out the transmission on your truck to get it ready for freestyle. Given how hard those guys are working in the back, some of the challenges that you face today, I know that's going to make you want to lay it down even more for freestyle.
Absolutely, Casey. You know what? That transmission, I told those guys, listen, man, this thing is not going to make it through freestyle. Let's put a brand new one in for these St. Louis fans. We can't let these guys down. But I got one question for you guys. Gravedigger's known for freestyle, baby. St. Louis, who's ready for Monster Jam Freestyle?
Well, a huge congratulations to our two winners, Tristan England and JCB Digatron, and Tyler Menninga and a Gravedigger. You can see it is very, very close right now here in our BKT overall event leaderboard right now as we get set. This is halftime. Be sure to head up to the concourse, grab your official Monster Jam merchandise, and meet us right back here for the second half of action.
Monster Jam fans, it is that time. We made it. I need you to make the biggest noise you can make because we are at our final competition, and it is time for Monster Jam Freestyle.
He lines up for the Morgan & Morgan backflip. Let's hear it for Cole Vennard, Black Pearl. Scoring is open now for Cole Vennard and the Black Pearl. Time to get those scores in as we take a look at the Super Glue Glued to the Action replay. Keep in mind that replay, very important here in freestyle because it is essentially a highlight package of all the great moves from our drivers. So you can get those scores locked in using that Super Glue Glued to the Action replay. And he's going to kick things off here in Monster Jam Freestyle. So scores are about to be locked in. Let's take a look to see where you put them at. You gave him a nice score, an 8.220. We're going to see our next competitor up. It's Jamie Garner, El Toro Loco. It looks like he's about to eye that Morgan & Morgan backflip. Let's hear it for Jamie Garner and El Toro Loco. Scoring is open right now, judgeszone.com. And a little bit rotation over there on the Morgan & Morgan backflip. He tried to save it, and unfortunately just couldn't get it done there. But nonetheless, a great run from Jamie Garner and El Toro Loco. There you see it on the super glue. Glued to the action replay right there. Tries to save it off that back BKT tire. All right, we're going to wait for those scores to get locked in. Our second competitor, remember the score to beat, 8.220. That is the score to beat from Black Pearl and Cole Vennard. Scores are locked in. Let's see where you put El Toro Loco. You gave him a great score, an 8.306. Good enough for the first spot.
Wanted to give you a quick update on Ryan Disharoon and the Shaker Monster Jam truck. They've been working on that truck since the very beginning of the event. There's Zeke Dennis, his crew chief, nutting and bolting and getting everything finished up from the bottom side of his truck. I told you earlier that there were so many compromised and warped parts on the truck. In a second, you're going to see a picture of, there it is. So you've got bent 4-link bars. There's a drive shaft cage right there. You've got bent shocks. Basically, the front end of the truck, a lot of things weren't aligned correctly, and it has to be perfect. Otherwise, it can put pressure on other areas of the truck that you don't want to break. So they have been working hard back there. Members of all teams trying to get that truck back out here on the track. I was talking to Ryan Disharoon, and he said it's looking promising that he will make it back out here. So hats off to the crew in the back, and we will keep you updated if Shaker will make it back for Freestyle.
Thank you so much, Casey, for that update here on Ryan Disharoon and Shaker. We want to give a big shout out there to JCB, our official equipment provider here at Monster Jam, of course, helping us with all the recoveries, but also helping us with bringing this track to life, building the track, and also disassembling the track here after today's event. So big shout out to JCB, the official equipment provider of this weekend's Monster Jam. Of course, we've got a lot more freestyle action coming your way. Coming up next, we got Mike Pagliarulo, Kraken. Clock is paused at 80 seconds for Mike Pagliarulo and Kraken, awaiting the official word if he'll be able to get to refire here from our Monster Jam officials up in the booth. And of course, our USHRA safety officials always making sure that our Monster Jam trucks and drivers are ready for competition. Sounds like he started to refire. Let's see if he can move those BKT tires and continue on his freestyle run. He does. Clock is paused again at 63 seconds for Kraken. Awaiting official word, and that will do it there for Kraken and Mike Pagliarulo. Unfortunately, not the answer that he wanted. There will be a 1-point deduction on the official score from you fans at judgeszone.com. He did not fulfill the 60 seconds. So keep that in mind when you get those scores at judgeszone.com. Locked in here for Mike Pagliarulo and Kraken. All right, remember, 30 seconds to qualify for a score and a 1-point deduction. And that'll be a 4.452. Big shout out to our Dirk squad and, of course, Scoops here representing for JCB. And you see that score to beat up there, 8.306, Jamie Garner. That is the score to beat. So a big score there from El Toro Loco. And right now, that is the score to beat. As you can see, getting ready there, the rest of our drivers here for Monster Jam Freestyle. 12 points are on the line, the last 12 points of tonight before we crown our winner. Who's ready for more Monster Jam Freestyle? Our next driver up is Mike Pagliarulo and Jester.
St. Louis, make some noise for Jester. You have 20 seconds to lock in those scores at judgeszone.com.
Big score there from Jester, a big run there from Jester as we take a look at the original Super Glue Glue to the action replay. Time to get those scores locked in as we await your scores. We've got about a couple seconds left here on the clock to let us know what you think about that run. Some nice air. Scores are locked in, a 6.423. It's time to see your next competitor. A big shout out to everybody in the back working hard. This is Ryan Disharoon, Shaker. That was the Morgan & Morgan backflip with the save.
Make some noise for Ryan Disharoon, Shaker. You got 20 seconds to lock in those scores, St. Louis. It's up to you at judgeszone.com.
What a save there off the Morgan & Morgan backflip. We almost saw that same move that he did last night. Ryan Disharoon, Shaker, the whole entire Metal Shop team. Of course, all those guys back there working to get him back into this competition. You can see the replay out on the video board. A lot of damage there on the front end after the JCB racing, but he was able to make it back for you St. Louis fans. One more time, Ryan Disharoon and Shaker. Scores are locked. Let's see where you put Shaker at. .393. He's now your new leader. Well, big time freestyle there from Ryan Disharoon puts him at the top spot, 9.393, followed by Jamie Gardner, Toro Loco, Black Pearl, Jester, and Kraken round out our 5 competitors. A lot more freestyle coming up here, though. 12 points on the line. A big shout out one last time, though, to everybody that helped out in that crash zone. Getting Shaker back in to the competition. You saw they replaced that drive shaft. You got 4 link bars all kinds of different other components, as Casey mentioned. To get Shaker back out there, had to take a team effort, and of course, some other teams helping out to get Shaker back. St. Louis, are you ready to see some more freestyle? Well, coming up next, we got Lindsey Reed, Lucas Stabilizer. That is the Morgan & Morgan backflip off the 8-pack.
Make some noise for Lindsey Reed, Lucas Stabilizer. You got 20 seconds to lock in those scores. St. Louis, judgeszone.com.
A big-time freestyle there from your 2019 Freestyle World Finals champion, Lindsey Reed and Lucas Stabilizer. Landing the backflip, though, off the Morgan & Morgan 8-pack. So changed it up a little bit. Didn't use the big trench box. Decided to go for those tires. Scores are in. Let's see where you put Lucas Stabilizer at. Your score puts her in the spot. 8.657. We've got our next driver up, Tristan England, JCB Digatron. This is the Morgan & Morgan backflip.
Make some noise, St. Louis for Tristan England, JCB Digatron.
Time to get those scores in at judgeszone.com. Tristan England and JCB Digatron landing all of the big moves there on the super glue glued to the action replay. And of course landing the Morgan & Morgan backflip there. We've got a couple more seconds left on the clock. And scores are in. Let's see where you put Tristan England and JCB Digatron. You gave him an 8.990. Good enough for the second spot. Coming up next, Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. He looks at that Morgan & Morgan backflip.
St. Louis, let's hear it for Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. You got 20 seconds to lock in those scores, judgeszone.com.
St. Louis, what a wild run from Bryce Kenny. Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, double backflip. He lands the momentum off the middle pod. We might have just witnessed one of the nominees for the best freestyle in a stadium for the 2024 season. He is pumped. Time to see what you put him in our scores. Let's take a look. The score to beat right now, 9.393 from Shaker. Your score for the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior is You gave him a 9.701. He puts him in the top spot. Look at that replay on the Super Glue Glued to the Action replay. The momentum carrying him forward off the roll. And then look at this backflip. Not one. There you go. And two. Almost three. But lands back on all four BKTs and continues that run. What a freestyle. I have seen Bryce Canyon, the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, a lot in the last few years, and by far my favorite freestyle I've seen so far. That puts him in the top spot with a 9.701, and Shaker and Ryan Disharoon with a 9.393, followed by JCB, Digatron, Lucas Stabilizer, El Toro Loco, and Black Pearl. You are witnessing some wild freestyles as we get set to see John Gordon, Bad Company. Clock has paused, and now I'm getting word from our Monster Jam officials up in the booth, and that will do it for John Gordon and Bad Company. No score for him, but St. Louis, let's shout him out. Let's give him some love here. A broken spindle, I'm getting word from our Monster Jam officials up in the booth right now. John Gordon, Bad Company. Give him some love here, St. Louis. He works hard to get this Monster Jam truck up and ready to go. But hey, now we're going to get a little update there from KCG. What's going on, Casey?
The Great Clips Mohawk Warrior team has been celebrating big time down here on the track. Bryce, you should have heard everybody on radio saying that that has to be a nominee for Freestyle of the Year. That was incredible.
Well, you know, sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're good. The best Monster Jam moments are when you're both. And we got a little bit of lucky, and we also were a little bit good, baby. You know what? You just got to take what the track throws you sometime. And the longer the run went, the more I was like, well, I guess we're just going to keep going and keep rolling the dice, and it worked out.
And Matt, I want to turn things on over to you because I know that you guys have been battling issues on that truck all day long. What did it mean to you? I saw you celebrating back here to see Bryce come out here and tear it down in Great Clips Mohawk Warrior.
You know, at the end of the day, I might be the one out here on camera, but there are 6 or 7 guys in the back right now that helped me change that transmission, that helped me look over that motor, that get none of this glory. So St. Louis, get loud so they can hear you in the back, because without them, that freestyle would never have happened.
Very well said, and congratulations to the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior team. We're going to see if you can hang on to that lead as we make our way through freestyle.
And we're going to see our next competitor hit the track. It's Todd LeDuc, Megalodon. And he lands the Morgan & Morgan backflip. Let's hear it for Todd LeDuc Megalodon. Scoring is open. Show him some love here. A wild run there from the fish down there on the track. Todd LeDuc Megalodon showing off some of his skills here as we take a look at that super glue. Glued to the action replay. Remember, the highlight reel is up on the video board, and that can help you get those scores in accurately and fairly here at JudgesZone.com. So scores are about to be locked. A couple seconds left here. And the scores are in. Remember, the score to beat, 9.701. Your score for Megalodon up on the video board, 7.989. We are definitely ready to see some more freestyle action. And coming up, it's Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger. Do it for Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. Time to get those scores locked in at JudgesZone.com. There will be a 1-point deduction because he did not make the entire 60 seconds. So keep that in mind here at JudgesZone.com. When we look at that super glue glued to the action, it was definitely going to be our wild ride there. You already know from Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. Time to see what you fans chose here at St. Louis for this freestyle run. Scores are locked in. Remember, the score to beat 9.701. You gave him a 6.589.
We've got the driver of Shaker, Ryan Disher, in here. Ryan, what a busy night it was for you and the whole team back in the pits, but coming out laying down a freestyle like that makes it all worth it.
You know what? I'd love to talk about my freestyle, and it was a really cool one, I felt like, but that was for the crew guys that came out and helped me. I can tell you right now, that truck would have never made it out there without the help from the teams of Garner Towing. And I tell you what, Bad Company, my teammates, they always help me out. The guys from Jester, everybody was back there making it happen, and it would not have happened without them. Our technicians are the top of the line.
So well said. The crew, the technicians, they are the backbone of what we do here at Monster Jam. We talked about this earlier, but I stand by it here today. It's not just about great runs. It's about the whole team. It's about putting down run after run of great material out there on the track and seeing everybody come together. That's what it's all about.
Man, it's a family back there. We're all competitive when we throw the shields down, but when it comes times to help each other, we're all a big family, man, just like all you guys. You guys are our family. You are our fans, and we love you guys, man. Are you guys ready for more Monster Jam?
Well, St. Louis, for the last time here at the Dome at America Center, it's Tom Mintz, Max D. Monster Jam fans, for the safety of you and your family, make sure that you do not breach that gray plastic. We will have to stop the event. That is including all of the bombs here inside our track area. Once again, for the safety of you and your family. All right, St. Louis, you ready to see some freestyle? It's Morgan and Morgan backflip time.
Make some noise for Tom Mintz, Max D. You guys got 20 seconds to lock in those scores at judgeszone.com.
Tom Mintz and Max D makes his final run here at the Dome of America Center. For you St. Louis fans, let's hear it for Tom Metz and Max D. Scores locked in right now. JudgesZone.com showing his love and appreciation to all you fans throughout the years. Tom Metz, Max D awaits his freestyle score here at JudgesZone.com. Let's see where you put him at. Scores are locked in. .826, which means your freestyle winner, Bryce Kenny, the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior.
Congratulations to the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior team. So much hard work has been poured into this team, and that freestyle run, that is what the legends are made of. Some kind of forward somersault over the pod, an amazing consecutive backflip, and there's no better place to do it than here in St. Louis.
Well, we love St. Louis. I know Monster Jam. This is one of the home bases for Monster Jam freestyle. And St. Louis, I just want to hear you though. Did anybody out there have fun tonight? Hey, from the bottom of our heart, everybody on the Great Clips Warrior team and everybody that worked so hard on this, thank you so much for coming here year after year. You guys, you're the rock stars. We just get to go and pilot these 12,000-pound Monster Jam trucks to make sure that we leave an impression, make sure that you as families make lasting memories that are going to last forever, and that's what we want for each of you. So, did anybody make a little bit of memory tonight?
How about it, folks? Your freestyle winner, Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. We're going to go ahead and add those points up and find out who's going to take home the overall event victory.
If you've been keeping track here, we're about to crown an overall event champion here in just a moment. And it sounds like the streak has been broken. 12 points in JCB Racing, 10 points apiece in the skills and freestyle competition for a total of 32 points. Your overall event champion is Tristan England, JCB Digatron.
Tristan, huge congratulations. You had a legendary year last year in 2023, and this is how you start off the 2024 season, your first overall event victory, and making it extra sweet here with JCB Digatron.
Man, I'll tell you what, we got our first W in the JCB Racing to cap it all off with an overall event championship. It's amazing. I got so much support, whether it's back home or right here with JCB, man. We're all like a big, happy family. This is our first one of many. And I can't thank each and every one of you enough because you guys had the power in your hands today to vote for who was the best. And hey, we got it done. But this guy right here, I'm going to talk about him too. Come here. Howie Dalton. He's been here for a long time. He knows all the ins and outs the best ways possible. And I've never had a truck that landed or moved like this one. I can't thank him enough. Thank you guys, St. Louis. I can't wait to come back and dig the competition with you guys.
Put those hands together for your overall event champion, Tristan England, JCB Digatron.
Well, a huge congratulations to our overall event champion, Tristan England and JCB Digatron. Well, St. Louis, it has been an epic week end of Monster Jam action. You still have time to head up to the concourse, grab your official Monster Jam merchandise. Of course, you can also check up all the results and up to date here of Stadium Championship Series East at monsterjam.com. Again, for Jabari Thomas, KCG, I'm Kay Young. We hope you had fun and we hope to see you at our next Monster Jam.